Alrighty, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video presentation by yours truly, Alex Villanueva. This one's going to be on someone who's should be very well known, but due to a couple different situations, this guy is not very well known in today's age. His name is Sebastiano Del Piambo, and let's get things started. So, brief agenda. Here's what we're going to go over today. First, I'm going to give a brief overview of who this guy is. Then we're going to go over a couple slides worth of his artistic background. Then we're going to go over a couple very important pieces that he worked on, the Daughter of Herodias and the Raising of Lazarus. Then we're going to go over some very interesting information about some toxic mentorship that this guy underwent during his time period. We're going to go over some more of his works. Then we're going to talk about the end of his painting career, and then we're going to wrap it up at the end. So without further ado, let's get things started. So Sebastian Del Piambo was a great Renaissance artist. Again, like I mentioned earlier, he's not well known, but I think he should be more well known. Honestly, should be talked about a little bit more. He worked alongside Michelangelo and Raphael, but because of them being so famous as they are, kind of overshadowed what Sebastiano meant to the Renaissance and art as a whole. A few of his paintings are Andrea Doria, Pope Clement VII, and the Adoration of the Shepherds. Again, probably have never heard of these paintings because this guy as a whole, excuse me, is not very well known. All right, here's his artistic background. He got a late start to his painting career compared to those that we do know, like Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo da Vinci, etc. Del Piambo was very skilled in painting portraits, as you can see on the right there, and almost all of his works were portraits. He was known as a famous portraitist. To the right there is the portrait of what is believed to be, it's not confirmed, but what is believed to be Christopher Columbus. At first in his early career, he studied under Giovanni Bellini and Giorgione. Hopefully I said that right. Again, those were his original mentors. More of his artistic background, he moved to Rome and studied under Michelangelo, directly under Michelangelo. Michelangelo was very impressed with him and his kind of raw talent. In his early career, Sebastiano Del Piambo was very risky, again, but very talented, and that's what kind of drew Michelangelo to kind of take him under his wing. And in terms of his riskiness, Michelangelo, when he did take him under his wing, kind of pointed him in a new direction. We'll talk about more about their relationship a little bit later. One of his early paintings in his painting career was the Daughter of Herodias. It's very well known in terms of kind of just the early parts of the Renaissance. His painting was painted in 1510, and this is kind of where his riskiness was kind of shined. It showed a painting. The painting showed a woman holding the severed head of John the Baptist. For those of you who don't know, John the Baptist is a very important figure in the Bible, in the Christian religion. So having his severed head on a plate held by a random woman definitely is the definition of riskiness. And he got his riskiness from his early mentor Giorgio. He kind of led a group of risky artists that were very well known to kind of break the rules of religious art during their time. The Raising of Lazarus. So this is when he started working under Michelangelo officially. After Giorgio died, his mentor, later in 1510, Sebastiano lost his inspiration and became very passive. Through my research, they described his artworks after Giorgio died as very weak. So that was very interesting. He kind of lost his mentor and kind of just started to go down on a decline. Um, Michelangelo then took him under his wing because again he was very impressed with his raw talent and kind of guided him to improve his painting. Sebastiano painted the Raising of Lazarus between 1517 and 1510 under Michelangelo. The idea came from Michelangelo directly, kind of gave him some inspiration, some drawings, and then he was instructed to kind of just take it from there. To the right there is the painting of the Raising of Lazarus. And here's where this toxic mentorship falls in. Sebastiano Del Piambo's The Raising of Lazarus turned out to be a failure. It turned out to be a really um, bad painting in the eyes of people during the Renaissance. Um, and fun fact, Michelangelo was using Sebastiano the entire time to create this painting in order to try to beat Raphael's painting of Transfiguration. And I totally forgot to add that picture, but we're going to move on from that. It was basically a similar religious painting that Raphael did before Sebastiano was instructed to create the Raising Lazarus. Again, this rivalry between Michelangelo and Raphael during the Renaissance was kind of what drove um, Michelangelo to take Sebastiano under his wing, thinking that he would be able to create a better painter out of Sebastiano than Raphael to kind of become more famous and control the painting world during the Renaissance. Other paintings during Sebastiano's painting career is the Flagellation in 1516. Andrea Doria, which is one of his more famous ones, quote unquote famous ones, Adoration of Shepherds, and Pope Clement VII. And we'll talk about that one here in a second. And the end of Sebastiano del Piambo as a painter. From 1519 to 1530, Sebastiano became a very well-known portraitist in Rome. Raphael, the painter, died in 1520. So Michelangelo actually decided to stopped using Sebastiano in the way of just trying to gain popularity and gain a step above Raphael. And so Sebastiano was able to work freely under Michelangelo and kind of do his own thing, but with Michelangelo's guidance. In 1531, Pope Clement VII hired Sebastiano as a keeper of the papal seal. He basically hired him, and that is what eventually ended up driving Sebastiano del Piambo to then retire as an artist, because he felt that the money that he was getting working for Pope Clement VII was sufficient enough. Alrighty, in conclusion, we discussed a brief overview of Sebastiano del Piambo, discussed his artistic background, talked about a couple of his paintings, Daughter of Herodias and The Raising of Lazarus, the interesting leadership that was given to him while working under Michelangelo, and a few of his other paintings. Alrighty, that was my presentation on Sebastiano del Piambo, and again, I think this guy should probably be discussed a little more when discussing the Renaissance, because he did work directly with Michelangelo and was heavily influenced by him. Again, if it wasn't for kind of the toxic competitiveness in Michelangelo during the time of his rivalry with Raphael, I think this guy could have really been something great. So that being said, thank you for tuning in, and catch you guys next time.